Nathan Aspinall made it through after a right old grind against Leonard Gates, the soldier. And it meant that Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson alongside me might as well have slept in this commentary box. This is so late you finished in. How are you, fellas? You okay?
Brilliant. A little jaded, let's put it that way.
I think that's
Especially
fair.
when I get a message at 6:20 this morning, can I come on the Quarter to 8 breakfast show? Certainly not live, that's for sure.
That's why I had to step in. I knew I'd be fourth or fifth choice somewhere down the line. How are you, Smashers? You all right? Everything good?
Absolutely brilliant.
Loving it.
Can't wait for today.
Well, last night we had the drama of the first 9 darter of the tournament, but that went to a player who ended up losing, and that, because you guys were here last night, in the commentary box, and that was the theme of last night, wasn't it? Players playing well, but ultimately not getting over the line.
It was, Dan. So I thought Jim Williams was certainly the better player than Paolo Nebreda, and he ended up losing 3-2. I thought in spells, Kist looked irresistible, hit the 9 darter, he won 60,000, prostate cancer got 60,000, and a young man called Chris from Sutton, who works on the railways, was the lucky winner from the audience who took home 60,000. What a Christmas present that is for him. And then Gordon Mathers against Ricky Evans. I'm sure Gigi's still scratching his head now, wondering why or how he's on his way back to Australia. And a bizarre interview from Ricky Evans at the post-match interview with all the press, where he come out with a statement he don't think there's 16 better players in the world. And I always find that quite bizarre, because if that was true, he'd be in the top 16 in the world, wouldn't he?
He's never been in the top 16 in the world, and I can easily state 32 players in the world that are better than him, and all of them have won a PDC ranked event. He hasn't won anything yet, so I think he might be trying to talk a big game and trying to talk himself into better form. Well, if last night's anything to go by, he's still got a lot more talking to do before the form clicks, because last night was good enough to get through Gigi Mathers. Dave Chisnell awaits him next. It'll be interesting to see if he's got enough against him.
Yeah, and Chizzy's in terrible form. He's got a really bad back. He can't approach the Oki in the manner that he normally does. So, yeah, that may well turn out to be a winnable game for Ricky Evans. And yeah, it's tough for Chizzy right now.
Tough for Aspinall after the year he's had with operations and goodness knows what else, but he ground out that win against Leonard Gates, so fair play to him for that.
It was a typical Aspinall performance. What he does, which a lot of players can learn from, he recognises very early in a match that, right, I'm not on my best. It was something I was never very good at. My head would fall off and I'd literally become frustrated. He recognises early on, right, okay, I've just got to find a way to win. And I don't think there's a better player in World Darts. He might not be the most naturally talented player in the world. He might not be the guy that's going to go up and have an 117 average. But whatever version of Nathan Aspinall you play, you are in for a war.
That's true. And I don't know what Mace feels about this, but I believe that there's nobody better in World Darts who is facing physical and mental adversity more readily and still succeeding more than Nathan Aspinall. He digs so deep every single time. I honestly don't know where he gets his energy from. At the end of that game with Gates last night, it was only 4 sets. It wasn't an all-the-way game. He was exhausted. And he's probably happy that he's got a week off now before he comes back after Christmas.
Well, he made it over. It could so easily have been 2-2 in that. I mean, that could have gone to a deciding set, as it was almost midnight, quarter to midnight, when things finally got done and dusted. The inability to release the dart on occasion is still there.
Yeah, it's not. We had a talk about it last night, me and Nico, during the match, and it's very much like a golfer will get down, and if you don't like it, you just draw the club away and readdress it. If a snooker player or a pool player gets down on a shot and they don't like it, and I like that, because I'm sure me and Nico have thrown many a dart that we both know is not set right in the hand, but still thrown it.
That's very true. And he was saying to me on talkSPORT 2 last night with his post-match interview that the new flights he's using, these moulded versions, it's a new thing for him, and he believes that what he's doing in practice is something he can take onto that stage. That he said the scoring is irresistible. It's just a question of when it starts to turn up, because when it does, he has full confidence that maybe his best darts are ahead of him.
Well, I remember him coming into the commentary box here and chat to us in 2019 when he made his breakthrough here and saying he was going to see his nan for Christmas, and I'm sure that's where he's off to now for the next few days, to spend time with his family and get on that practice board and make sure that he's ready for what's to come in round 3 onwards. So on to today, and well, we've got both sessions for you live and exclusive here on talkSPORT 2. This session will get underway in the next 8-9 minutes, and also the evening session from 7 p.m. The evening session tonight will include Michael Smith, former world champion. The bully boy will take on the guy he played in round 1 last year and nearly lost to in Kevin Doots.
Game of the night tonight, Dan, is Scott Williams, Nico Springer.
Yes.
That is going to be box office.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the reason, obviously, the carrot for Scott Williams is to meet Rob Cross in the next round, his practice partner.
And Stableman.
And they both live in the same area. Rob moved lock stock up to Lincolnshire so he could practice with Scott, and they could meet in round 2. But Nico Springer, as you say, is that's somebody that waiting in the long grass, isn't it, Nico, to cause a surprise?
He's just so good. He's shown it over the last 2 or 3 years. Going to the European Tour, he made the last 16 of a European Tour event on debut. That doesn't normally happen, but since then he has continually proven that he's got a lot of talent, and he's better now than he's ever been. He's a sensational player. It'll be really interesting to see what Scott Williams can do about him in the 3rd game tonight.
And Springer is a real level-headed, smart young man. He is literally totally switched on. Although he's now embarking on a professional career, not quitting his job. He studied for 5 years to work within the legal system in Germany. And I said to him, what are you going to do? He said, no. He said, I'll just reduce my hours. That in Germany, if you're a sportsman, that's within their system. You get paid, but you can work less if you're becoming a sportsman or want to be a sportsman or are a sportsman. It's genius. No wonder they produce so many great sports people.
They are incredibly level-headed, so many of them. So that's to come later. Also, Mensa Suljovic, former Champions League winner, will take on Matt Campbell of Canada. That will be an intriguing, because the gentle is nowhere near where he was a few years ago when we first started bringing you darts on the radio, when Mensa was very much a top 16 player. But on to today. Let's get the odds ahead of this afternoon's 4 matches with our friends at William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Alex Dunn joins us from William Hill. Afternoon, Alex.
Afternoon, lads. How's it going?
Yeah, very good, thank you. We'll take it game by game, and Mace has got his ACCA ready for each element of this afternoon's action to sort of counter what you bring up from what the odds say. Let's start with the Dutchman Chris Landman taking on Lock Yin Lee, arguably the weakest of the Asian qualifiers in our first match.
Yeah, we've got this as being fairly straightforward. Chris Landman is 1-8, 5-1 for Lock Yin Lee. So you might have to get a little bit creative. I don't mind the match treble of Landman to win, highest match checkout, and most 180s at even money. And similarly, Landman -2.5 is even money as well. So it sort of pays your money, takes your choice on evens on the pair of those. I'd probably rather just back Landman to win 3-zip, even money. I just think it'll be very straightforward. Sometimes you look at some of these and you go, I can see a shot coming. I'd be shocked if there was one here, but be interested to see what you make of it.
Yeah, I don't like the match treble, because I think if Lock Yin Lee has any kind of success, he's going to get out-muscled in this match. He's going to be left on big finishes, and he may well nick one of them. My preferred option for that one is, I can't bet him outright at 1-8. It's Landman most 180s a win match. I think it's around 8-15, 1-2ish.
Okay, on to match 2 then, Alex. Callan Rids, another player that could and should be doing so much better. Romeo Gerbovac is his opponent from Croatia.
2-7 for Rids. Gerbovac is 13-5. Again, this is one that you'd expect Rids to get the job done, but then we've been saying that for a little while now, haven't we? So maybe 3-1 to Rids is 9-4. Again, if you're looking at match trebles, Rids to win the match, highest match checkout and most 180s is 13-8. But yeah, overs on the sets, over 3.5 sets either way is 8-15. And I don't think it'll be a whitewash either way.
No, and Roman can play. We've had him down at the Champions Week down at the Super Series. Got a good look at him. There's something I've found in there. Rids, it's a 180 pretty much every 0.3 of a leg. Roman 0.1. So I found Rids most 180s at 8 to 11. I think that's a good punt.
Match 3, Alexei Smash Martin Lukeman taking on the Indian qualifier, who does have experience on this stage, Nitin Kumar.
Yeah, this is very one-sided. 25 to 1 on Martin Lukeman. Nitin Kumar is in there at 10 to 1. So by far and away the shortest price favourite that we've got today. To the extent that Lukeman to win 3 to love is 3's on. Lukeman to win the match, highest match check out of most 180s is 8 to 11. So I mean, you're getting a 25 to 1 on shot at 8 to 11 to win the match, most 180s I should say, and highest match check out as well. But it is pretty hard to see anything. Chris, did you have any value that you found on this one?
Yeah, I've seen as high as 33 to 1 on Lukeman. So yeah, it appears to be one-sided. I just always have a bit of caution in these kind of matches, because these kind of players to win legs, they're going to have to take out big shots. But I found that I'm with you. I like 3-0. It's in and around. Well, it was this morning. The prices obviously changed. When I looked on site this morning, it was 4 to 11, 3-0, and I think that may be the safest punt.
Okay, finally, Robert Owen. He's already played his round 1 match. Got through, played well, the Welshman. He's got Gabriel Clements, Alex, the German. Well, is he the number 1 or number 2? I think he might
he's
be
the number 2 now.
He's the number 2 now behind
Made the semis 2 years ago.
He did indeed. So what about this one, Alex, to round off?
2 to 5 for Clemens, 19 to 10 for Robert Owen. So, strictly speaking, as far as the odds are concerned, this is the most competitive of the afternoon. I'm not sure it'll play out that way, to be honest. I thought Clemens was a worthy favourite here, and I thought he could be a little bit shorter, personally. Robert Owen there at 19 to 10. You mentioned that he's already caused an upset this week. This would be another one, and I think this would be a bigger one. But, yeah, I thought Clemens was the play. He's 11 to 4 to win, 3-0. And 15 to 8 to win with a match treble. But I think that's the gist for the afternoon session, really. You do have to get a little more creative with your selections, because there are some short price favourites.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I mean, Owen beating Zonneveld was a shock, especially the manner in the victory. When I look at their seasonal numbers, 91.64 for Owen, 94.08 for Clemens. But the back end of this season, Owen's been playing much, much better. When he's sort of looking like he's going to lose his card, where you would expect him to start to maybe twitch, he's actually had his best run of form. I've gone here, Gabriel Clemens minus 1.5 at 10 to 11, and that little acca of my selections pays just over 6 to 1.
There's a ridiculous amount of pressure on Robert Owen in this match as well.
Yeah,
because
he loses his card if he don't win.
Exactly. Has to win to stand a chance. This will feel like a final to him. There's so much more attached to it, and when Mark and I are in the commentary box, we'll let you know what that is.
Brilliant stuff, Nico, thank you. And Alex, thank you very much. Alex Dunn joining us from William Hill with all the odds. That's all thanks to William Hill. Get epic value all tournament with William Hill. It's 18 plus, and the website you need is begambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
By the way, I love the way Jamie O'Hara on the sports bar makes begambleaware.org all into one syllable. Begambleaware.org. Gets it all done in next to no time.
He'd have some fun with the name of the fella up first then, wouldn't he? Lock Yin Lee.
Yes, from Hong Kong. Now, I will admit, never having heard the name Lock Yin Lee before he came.
Well, that part of the world is very much soft tip, Nico, isn't it? I think you've been out there, haven't you?
Yeah, have indeed. Hong Kong's a great place to go and play darts. They've got dart shops everywhere with loads of boards in them. But Lock Yin Lee made the semi-finals of the Asian Championship this year, which is becoming a more competitive event every single time. There are better players in Asia than him right now, but this is his first big dose of steel tip action in anything like this. But Man Lok Leung last year won his first game. Watch out.
Nico, thank you. You are excused. And Nico will come back with Mark Wilson for match number 2, which will be Callan Ritz from Nico's part of the world up in the northeast against the Croatian Romeo Gerbovac. But you can hear the dulcet tones of John McDonald in the background. Myself, Ian Danter and Chris Mason are staying with you. for our first game. And if you fancy seeing us in vision, we do have the talkSPORT YouTube darts channel that is now up and running. You'll find us, if you look for talkSPORT darts, you'll find us. Macy's waving at the camera. All right, I'll wave as well. Who cares?
Very tiz was that, wasn't it?
Very tiz was, yeah. We'll do the dying fly in a minute. Go full on. So yes, the talkSPORT darts YouTube channel. Plenty of content on there already, interviews with players that have made it through to the latter stages, and you can watch along live with myself and Mace. Whilst Lock Yin Lee from Hong Kong makes his way to the stage. He's 14th on the Asian Tour Order of Merit. That just tells you, reinforces really what Nico was just saying. There's better players than him in that part of the world at the moment, Mace.
Yeah, but what an opportunity. He will have never seen or experienced anything like this.
Well, as we've said, when you've never experienced it before, you can revel in it or it can chew you up and spit you out. Now, this guy has been at Ali Pali before, but only his second appearance today. From Holland, Chris Landman, and he is here as much as anything by virtue of reaching the semi-final of Players' Championship 29.
Yeah, which came from absolutely nowhere. And hit a 9-darter en route when he beat Ross Smith.
That's right, he did.
But it'd be interesting. A lot of the Asian players are quite deliberate, and they're not the quickest. They're really measured type players. Landman's a real rhythm player. He would love to be playing someone like Ricky Evans, and if it went all the way against Ricky Evans, it'd still be over in 20 minutes. But he may be up against a player that doesn't allow that rhythm. But Landman, a really experienced player, been around a while, making his second appearance here at the Worlds. This could be a fascinating game. I expect Landman to come through it, so there may be a couple of little bumps in the road, as they say.
Well, I can only assume that Lock Yin Lee is feeling the cold a little bit.
It looks like he's got a hoodie underneath his...
Yeah, he's wearing his wonderfully colourful darts jersey with symbols and words all over it in multicolours. It's a real kaleidoscope of colour.
All of this trend of the shirts and the flights and the merchandise and everything else, that really started in Asia. They were the forerunners who sort of, well, you think of Mikuru Suzuki and everything that comes with that as a package. It's very much a creation from the soft tip world of darts in Asia. They're colourful. They have their, like I say, they have their own sort of types of merchandise, and it's fed. You look at Ricardo Petretsko and players like that. It really has sort of started to become a thing now in normal darts. I remember back in the day they'd have a cardigan on with holes in the elbows and roll up hanging out their mouth. That was about it. There was nothing colourful about it whatsoever.
No, it's fair to say that the game of darts has moved on in terms of its style. Chris Landman will get us underway with a very traditional setup. Not only his traditional black and red dart shirt, but black flights and stems on his darts. Nothing flashy at all about the Dutchman.
And his first start found the treble 20. Well, Lee has matched the ton with a ton of his own.
That will do nicely.
Yes, an early settler.
He didn't reach a final on any Asian Tour event this year, so it is just getting to that semi-final of the Asian Championship.
And when you look at his seasonal numbers, Dan, 78.59. Landman not exactly pulling up trees himself with a 90.05, but we've seen it before here. Players can be inspired and play above themselves.
It's just hit a 140 as if to show that right now. 261 lead. Landman's got down to 121. Very much an aimer. Lock Yin Lee holds the dart for a good 2 seconds before a very orthodox looking release, but that's a bit of a bag of nails from him.
Strong leg from Landman. Ton 140, 140, down to 121, single 20. Comes down for the treble 17. Didn't really need to, but it wasn't a particularly nice opening dart. So he's down to 64. Leg one, set one. Lee back on 2-2-9. He's at the Oki, single 20. Doesn't make the adjustment.
45.
And only 45.
So still not down to a finish. 6 darts from 64 for Landman, and he's hit treble 8 for double top, and he pins double top with the last dart. So a nice 15-dart hole just to settle Chris Landman into matters here at Ali Pali.
Yeah, when I dug a little bit deeper on Lockie Lee's sort of form line, he's had a low this year of a 63.93, and his best average in competitive action on the Asian Tour, only 93.22. That's the big worry, because I believe Landman can tick along quite nicely at 93, where that's the real top end of Lee's game.
Lee, the shorter man with close cropped hair at the sides and a bit longer on the top, sort of black and peroxide hairdo that he's got going on. Landman with a very spiky strawberry blonde, spiky head of hair. And Lee at the Ock. It's his throw in leg 2.
And he's got a nice lead as well. He's down to 161 after a ton. Landman's back on 396. Finds the treble 20 though. Follows it. First max of the match.
That'll do. There's a lot of moving parts in that Chris Landman action, but it did the business there.
It's not conventional, but it works.
A lot of shoulder in that throw. From
A bit like a Jim Furyk golf swing.
Yeah.
50.
He's not down to a finish. Lee is. He's got all the ones. Aye. But Landman
41.
follows up the maximum with a 41, so he's not on a finish here.
Yeah, and he reacted. He is fuming. Starting on the 19s by the look of it. Single 19 leaves 92. Treble 20. Doesn't get it. 72 remaining. Doesn't count, all right. He's gone for the 48 to leave 24, but only found a single 16. Down to 56. Landman 175. Single 20. Oh, 2 of them right on the top wire, but does pick off treble 15 to leave 90 if he gets to go.
16 for tops is the obvious route. Okay, so Lee doesn't mind double top. Some players not so keen, like Ryan Joyce, for example, a couple of days ago. And he's not pinned it.
Oh, Ryan Joyce loves double 16 because he's the best in world darts at it, statistically.
So Landman's got a chance at 90 here. Oh, he's hit treble 20, double 15. Good marker just outside, but too far inside with the final dart. Almost rushed that. Lee back in for tops to level it up at 1 apiece in this first set. And there it is. He's got a leg on the board. And there's many a debutant at these World Championships, Chris Mason, that never even achieves that. We saw Rashad Sweeting yesterday not only win a leg,
wasn't he?
got a couple of maximums, 10+ checkout, didn't win the game, but won our hearts.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, there's a perfect example of playing above your sort of statistical ability, and he was inspired. I thought he was fantastic, and that will inspire people from that part of the world to maybe have a go themselves, and then you never know what can happen from there.
So into leg 3 of set 1. Chris Landman of the Netherlands, second time at the Ali Pali Jamboree for him. The last time was a couple of years ago. 85 for Lee. He's a little behind, but Landman looking to pop in a second maximum of the afternoon.
Very nearly. 140 though takes him down to 121. 1 leg apiece, set 1. Lee back on 316. Comes for cover, doesn't find it.
58.
Only 58, so a bit of breathing space for Landman here in set 1 in leg 3. 25 leaves 96, treble 20 leaves double 18, and he's just on the outside wire. Good effort.
He's quick.
I told you he was quick.
Yeah. Almost up
I
there.
said if he was playing Ricky Evans, a 5-setter would be over in 20 minutes if it went to a tie-break.
He'll be able to finish me team.
Well, referees Kirk Bevins, one of the... Well, he's a mathematical genius, isn't he? He's a...
Well, you don't need to be a genius to work out how easy that was for Chris Landman
What did he win? Countdown 8 times or
8
something,
times,
and then
yeah.
won the grand
The grand final.
Yeah.
champion of champions.
Rachel Riley was actually here yesterday. They were doing one of them darts for math. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I mean, I'm not kidding. My maths has got way better in the years that I've been working with you fine people, doing either, well, everything we've done, the Premier League, the World Championships, the match play, the World Cup.
We have done plenty.
And
We'll be doing plenty more, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Treble 20's not followed. Back-to-back tons for Lee on throw. He's been tidy. Down to 301. Landman with a 55 on 446. It's a ton. Takes him down to 346. Set one. Landman leads 2 legs to 1.
He was the runner-up in the WDF World Championship last year, Chris Landman. Chance for a maximum for Lee. Oh, the third dart just dips into small 20.
Well, it's one of those things you want to tick off. One of them's winning a leg up there, the other one's hitting a 180. A great 140 from Landman. He's on 206, leads 2-1 set one. Lee with the advantage of having a poke at a finish first. 161, he hits treble 19, leaves 104. Misses treble 18, can stay there. The treble leaves double. Well, it would have left double 16. As it is, he'll come back for 68. 206 Landman.
Tell you what, he's neat and tidy.
He is.
Lockie Lee.
Nice and straight, isn't he?
Yeah. Darts placement is good. Not, I'm told he's erratic, but I've not seen anything apart from one bag of nails throw in the first leg. It's been fairly good. 12 is hit for double 16 for Lockie and Lee. One more in hand, and he's on the wire with both.
Literally. Well, it couldn't have been any closer. 2 treble 20s, double 14. Gets 1 treble. Does horrible deflection. Leaves 48 just in case.
Lockie and Lee wants double 16. He's missed 2 at it already, and a third almost on the wire again. But this one pins, and we're going to a deciding leg in set 1 between Chris Landman and Yin Lee.
Yeah, Landman on throw has won his 2 legs in 15 and 13. 19 and 17 for Lee, which is why there's a disparity in the numbers. 85 average Lee, 93 average Landman, but Landman's only started with 44. That's opened the door here for Lee, but he can't punish. Only 41 himself, so Landman's got away with that.
Soft tip darts is something that Lockie and Lee participates in. Look, just remind us that the difference in the board, obviously there's a difference in the dart soft tip, gives the game away. Yeah,
well, it's from 8 foot. The dartboard's pretty much at the same height, but it's electronic, and instead of having steel points, you have plastic points, because the dartboard is made up of thousands of tiny little holes. The trebles and doubles are bigger, the bullseye's bigger. It's predominantly, in the early days, was played on the bullseye, but they play cricket games on it. So you'll play a match where you'll play cricket and 501, and then if you win the ball, you have the choice what to play in leg 3, whether 501 or a game of cricket. But there's slightly different variables. But another 180. But the big difference is the machine counts it all up for you.
Ah, yes.
So a lot of the time when we do get the Asian players, their counting can be suspect. He's got to be careful here. He needs an 18. Yeah, this guy can count. He's left 170 just in case Landman doesn't take 84 for the set.
But he's hit treble 20, double 12 for the set. On the wire from Landman. And he's inside, so he should be back for double 6. But Lee wants the big fish.
What a moment this would be. Gets a treble, needs another. You can visibly see the hand shaking, Dance, can't you?
I felt the air being sucked out of the room for a moment with the 3,000 darts fans wondering if that was going to set up bullseye. Double 6 for Landman. Outside with the first 2. And the third's outside as well. Chance for the set for Lee from Hong Kong.
5 set darts for Landman. Lee on 65. Should be 25 top. Just confirming with our referee, Kirk Bevins. Could go treble 11 for double 16.
He went 25 and hit 16. 17 leaves double 16. 1 dart for the set for the man from Hong Kong, and he's way inside, about an inch inside. Will he be back for double 8? So another 3 set darts in hand for Chris Landman of the Netherlands on double 6. At 3 o'clock on the board, another outside, another outside. But this one finds the target. And with an 8-set dart, Chris Landman gets over the line to lead Lok Yin Lee of Hong Kong by a set to love in a race to 3. We're in our first match of the afternoon at the PDC World Darts Championships at Ali Pali. Thank you.
Show, right, Pete?
How we doing?
Go on, Pete.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on, Pete. Obviously, it's massive, this tournament. Love it every year. Comes around. You've played tonight. How did you rate your performance?
What do you think the performance was? It was terrible, but, you know, I got away with it. You know, I'm disappointed for my fans and I think the way I played, but, you know, at least I'm through, you know, until after Christmas now.
Pete, I can tell how disappointed you are in your performance, and sometimes it's about getting the job done, which you've done. What was the part of your game that you feel let you down the most?
All of it.
Right.
I didn't hit trebles, I didn't hit doubles. What do you think?
I saw you a couple of 180s though.
Yeah, I don't know. And I just struggled. I don't know why. The practice was going fantastic for the past week. You know, I felt actually better than I did when I won the Worlds for the first time ever. That's where my mindset was, and it's weird. I can't explain it. But, you know, at least I'm improved, and I can only improve now and get it right for the next round.
Pete, got to ask you, obviously the Ali Pali crowd, everyone's been talking about the last 24 hours. The atmosphere has been electric. How good is it to be a part of that?
It's totally fantastic. You know, it was them. You know, I had an interview earlier with Abby on stage, and it was them guys who got me through. You know, they're fed up with seeing me playing rubbish, and you know, they all got behind me, and so you know, it's, you know, you don't want to let them down, and you don't want to let yourself down. So you know, they're fantastic, and they all come out here, enjoy themselves, fancy dress, you know, and yeah, it's great for darts.
Coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship on talkSPORT 2 with Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play this festive season at one of 33 cracking UK locations. And the whole Darts on the Radio team can vouch for the cracking location in Blackpool, for example.
Yeah, we love it, don't we?
That we use every year for the World Match Play, which is late July in 2025, but plenty more darts to come between now and then, not least.
I was going to say good luck trying to get a ticket though.
This one, yeah, well, yes. The darts continues right the way throughout the year. After this World Championship, you've got Q School for those that haven't got a tour card, you've got the Masters, then the Premier League starts, World Series events, European Tours. It just comes thick and fast. We have 3 quarter-finals.
But the 2 biggest tournaments we cover on talkSPORT 2 for our listeners. And talkSPORT 1, of course, for the semi-finals and finals this year.
And in terms of semi-finals, 3 of the semi-finalists are sorted for the Carabao Cup after last night's ties.
It's Tottenham tonight, isn't it?
It is. That's live on talkSPORT tonight. Tottenham, Manchester United has an 8 o'clock kickoff.
How'd you see that one going down?
I can't work out Tottenham from one game to the next. But at home, I give them much more of a chance. I mean, they're high on confidence because they walloped Southampton on. So I was there for that on Sunday night.
Oh, yeah, you did that, yeah.
That was
listening to it.
That was frighteningly easy for Ange Postecoglou. But he's not just down to the bare bones; he's down to the marrow in terms of fit players. But Yeah, you'll find that out tonight on talkSPORT. But here on talkSPORT 2 tonight, we'll bring you the evening session.
Really good lineup too.
Yeah, including Michael Smith, the bully boy, against Kevin Dutz, the man who nearly knocked him out last year in round 1. It's a round 2 encounter this year. This is round 1.
Yeah, set 1. It was tidy enough. Bit edgy in the last leg. It went to a 5th and deciding leg, which was 1 in 21 darts. And it had a 180 in it for Landman, who's hit 2 now in the match. He averaged 89.34, where Lee averaged 84.12. Be interesting to see the response, because he has the throw in this set, which means he will throw first in legs 1, 3 and 5 if it goes that far, like it did in set 1. Currently in leg 1 of set 2, Landman down to 282 on the Lee throw. Lee at the hockey from 301 finds a treble 20, doesn't follow it, does with dart 3, down to a finish of 161.
Nicely done. It's my first look at both of these players live. Landman got his tour cards for the first time. I'm talking about tour cards in Q School just a few seconds ago, and that's what Landman did. Finished 4th on the European Q School Order of Merit to get his 2-year tour card. He did compete in the Challenge Tour the year before, the PDC Challenge Tour, which is kind of the next one down from the Pro Tour.
Championship football.
Yeah. And
not a million miles away, but certainly a tier down. Double 8 for Lee. Ooh, well inside. Really had a... Well, he flashed at that. Should be back unless Landman can take out 146, and the shot's not on. Single 20. Comes for cover on treble 19. Leaves 50 just in case.
So double 4 for Lock In Lee. So an inch outside, but he pins that nicely enough. So he has the lead in set 2.
Am I right in Hong Kong they do their surname first? So I think it's Christian.
Well, yes, a lot of that happens in Southeast Asia. So Hyung Min Son rather than Son Hyung Min.
Yes.
I think is how it should be said if you're being pedantic about it, yes. But I don't have
but
much.
Isn't it funny in sport, a lot of the time we'll use their surname first?
We do. Well, my knowledge of Hong Kong is pretty much restricted to when Roland Rapp went there in the 80s when TVAM was desperate for viewers. And Roland Rapp went to Hong Kong.
Round the road.
Yeah. With Errol the Hamster and Kevin the Gerbil.
How was that even a thing?
I know. But, well...
Probably get cancelled nowadays for animal cruelty or something.
Roland Rapp was a genius. Just like Sweet was of City of Sweet. There's another puppet genius. Anyway, back to the game. Landman's 1 set up, but
43.
Lee is 1 game up, and it's pretty even Steven in this second leg. Landman coming down from 2-1-6, should get down to a finish and will with a steady ton. What can Lee do in response?
Yeah, he's using the throw very, very well. Lee is. Well, they both are. They're both taking care of business on throw. First set went with throw. So far, this set has gone the same. But a good ton from Lee. He's down to 118. Landman wants 116 to level things up. Single 20. Needs a treble. Gets it. Double 18. Oh, buckled the wire.
So 118 for Lock-In Lee. Starting on the trebles. 98 left, staying up there. He's got double 19. He's hit it. He's checking with Kurt Bevins. Yeah, you've hit it. 1 dart at double 19 for a 2-0 lead. Got it. Oh, how about this? He is playing above himself. Averaging 84 at the moment, which is a good 10 points ahead of his seasonal average. Lock-In Lee of Hong Kong now has the darts to level us up in sets, Chris Mason.
Yeah, and it's so good to see this. I remember when the PDC initially went to the bigger field, and it sort of did dilute the product, but that is so changed now. We're seeing
especially now we have 96 players to start with.
We're going to 128 next year as well.
Yeah. Good.
That means you get another 4 days of darts on the.
I was going to say,
on the radio.
Even more days of watching people struggle up the hill from the train station, and more importantly, struggling back down again at the end of the night.
Especially at midnight.
Oh boy,
which it was last night. It was an interesting drive from the car park up the hill, I can assure you.
I'm sure you had to move very slowly.
I did.
261.
It's hard not to run over 6-foot seagulls and 9-foot traffic cones.
There's a huge guy dressed as Daredevil, the superhero, the Avengers assembling outside the VIP entrance that I saw. 161 for Lee to win the set.
Miles in front, Dance. Landman back on 303. He's found the 60. Treble 17. Oh, would have left the ball one. He's tied it up beautifully. 24 after 12, so double 12 after 12 darts thrown to win this opening set 3-0. And in this set, Dance, he's averaging 94.4.
Double 12 for the set. Got it! Lok Yin Lee of Hong Kong, arguably the weakest of the Asian qualifiers at these championships, has drawn level with Chris Landman, and we've got a game on our hands here. Stick with us on talkSPORT 2, where we'll play to a conclusion next. It's a race to 3 sets, and it's one apiece between Landman and Lee on talkSPORT 2.
Hey, what are you going to do now in between the next game? Obviously, Christmas is coming up. What does it look like for you?
What's it look like? I've got to put a 21, 22 foot, 23 foot Christmas tree up, and then by myself, and then cook for 13 people.
Are you cooking? You cooking?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
We're doing, what's on Christmas dinner? Tell us what's on the. What you're doing? What veg? We were talking about Christmas dinner. What veg to go for?
What veg? We have all the veg. The Brussels sprouts with bacon in butter and I think with a bit of maple syrup. And then we're going to go for.
Do you have red cabbage?
Flour. I've done the red cabbage already. I've already done that with cinnamon and stuff like that. I've already got that.
Pigs in blankets?
Yeah, we'll do that. But
Love a pig in a blanket.
Not little tiny ones. We do like actually chipolatas.
Oh, you do the big dogs?
The big ones.
Do you? They're not pigs in blankets, then, are they?
What about the old Yorkshire pudding, Pete? You put a Yorkshire pudding, is that allowed?
Oh, the secret of Yorkshire pudding mix is you've got to put 8 eggs in a mug, right? And then you've got to put whole jug of milk, not whole jug, same cup that you use for the 8 eggs, milk, and then the flour, plain flour, a little dash of salt, and you'll have the best Yorkshire puddings, as long as it's like bang, high heat. Amazing.
Right. And when you wake up in the morning, do you stuff the bird?
The bird's already stuffed from the night before.
Oh, the night before.
Yeah, you've got to give the bird a good stuffing.
In the morning, first thing you do with it, you wake up and then
stuff the bird and sort the pigs in blankets out.
Yeah, what do you call an angry chicken?
Go on.
What does an angry chicken say?
Go on.
I can't say it. I can't say
Be
it.
careful, Pete.
Be careful, Pete.
Be careful, mate.
Don't get you in trouble, Pete. Listen, Pete, it's nice to speak to you, mate. Good luck.
Merry Christmas, Pete.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas, guys.
Cheers, bud.
I think you wanted to just talk to us about Christmas food.
I tell you what,
didn't want to talk to us about darts, mate.
I can tell the darts are on his mind, mate.
Darts was like, can't be bothered. Let's talk about some vegetables.
Example why he currently does have the Irish finish of 118, and not only that, he's at 1 set apiece. He was 1-7 on Chris Landman. I like Landman most 180s into win match, and I'm sticking with that. Although that was a beautiful set from Lee, winning legs of 20, 15 and 13, which works out at 16 darts a leg if you average it out. He won the set 3-0. He's actually 5-3 up in legs if this was at the match play. Yeah, so 16 darts a leg is 93.94, and that was his average in set 2. His current running average or match average, 87-86. It's nearly 2 points higher than his opponent Landman, who's way more experienced, has way more sort of, I don't know, like sort of credibility within the game because of his experience. But it's Landman that's, well, a little bit under it at the moment.
It's a great contest.
It is. It's a proper game of darts now.
Great contest on Saturday night in Riyadh. It's the rematch.
It won't be.
Well, now, for those that aren't aware, I follow Chris's opinions on boxing very, very closely, because everything he said to me about boxing
in the last 5 years
has come absolutely, particularly when it comes to Alexander Usyk, who Chris said would sort out AJ not once but twice, said he would sort out Fury, said Fury would beat Wilder, and he did just.
Yep.
And here we are in Riyadh again, Fury taking on Usyk in that rematch, and you say again that the Ukrainian will prevail and stop him.
Yeah, he's coming a little bit bigger. Remember, he's a cruiserweight. He was undisputed champion at cruiserweight, absolutely dominated that division. And for someone to go up, and especially the heavyweights nowadays, they're super heavies, and he's come into this fight a lot heavier, as has Tyson. We've not seen him with a tracksuit off yet, but I've heard rumours he's going to come in around between 20 and 21 stone, and I think his legs are gone, and I think he'll be like treading in molasses. And listen, you can't afford to do that against someone whose front foot pressure is as special as Usyk, as the way he downloads every movement you make, and all these little feints that Tyson does. They're predictable. They may be unpredictable against a fighter who doesn't get a read. I've got Usyk stopping him this time.
Well, Jim White's flying out there to host our coverage.
Yes, all the teams going out, aren't they?
Yeah, Adam Catterall, Gareth A. Davis.
And also great to see Adam Smith back commentating. He's actually on the DAZN commentary, so
he is.
Good to see him back involved.
So that's from 7:30 on Saturday night. There'll be a watch-along as well on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel.
So is our mate Addy going over as well?
Addy Oladipo, I'm sure he'll be there. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be there. But the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel is up and running as well. You can see me and Chris in vision as a watch-along whilst we bring you this, as Lee of Hong Kong has just pinned double 16 to take the first leg of the third set against the Darts, and they're all going, Lee, they're into him. The man from Hong Kong now has the lead for the first time in this encounter.
He's won 4 on the spin dance. The last 3 he's won in 15, 13 and 14. That's an average of close to 108 in that spell.
Now, Landman is a player that Chris Mason has watched. The Modus Super Series that Chris and Paul Nicholson work on a lot down in Portsmouth. It's that competition where non-tour card holders get their chance to pit there, which, of course, Landman is now a tour card holder, but you've seen him before.
Yeah. Prior to him getting his card, and like I say, he made the final of the WDF World Championships, had plenty of success with us down at the Super Series, where he produced some real high-quality stuff. I mean, he's averaging mid-80s here, but Lee is inspired.
He's averaging 96 in this set. As soon as I say that, he throws in a 5.
Standard stuff.
Goes running for cover.
The commentators, Chris, would never not be there.
A couple of single 90s to follow up, but he does have a slight advantage in leg 2. Comes up dry there, Landman. All 3 darts below the red bit.
He needs a leg just to stop the rot, because the momentum is with Lee, and he's looking across to his friends and family and probably management, well, aghast at the moment as Lee finds 2 treble 20s. He should be going, well, he should have gone for the ball there, because the 25 would have been 145 and left him 170. As it is, he's back on 175, but no damage done. Landman on 281 can only find 85. So 6 darts at 175 for Lee to lead 2-0 in set 3, 1 set apiece.
I think we can excuse a slight rush of blood to the head, thinking he could have got his first maximum of the afternoon.
Yeah, well, I think that, listen, he wants to hit a 180 up there. That's one of the things you want to do when you've never done it before. But he's in a great position here, and Landman, well, he's all over the shop. He's not even left to finish. He's on 168.
Oh my God, yes.
Lee's wants 78 for 2-0 in set 3. Well, he's gone for treble 18 in it, a 1. No damage done here. He can tidy up. Oh, double 10.
Oh, hit treble 19 perfectly. And he's hit double 10 as well. A little yelp from the man from Hong Kong.
He's that good at tidying up, Dan, so I'll give him a job at the pub. On a Sunday morning, because it does need tidying up on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, but you do a very good job of tidying up. I've seen your work. The Prince of Wales in Ilston, up there in the North Midlands.
It's a great spot as well, because it's literally 5 miles from Nottingham, 5 miles from Derby, so we have a real mixed bag of football fans. They all come in, and well, when Derby are playing, the Forest fans will come in with the Derby fans. They have some great banter. Here's the Max. Ooh.
Oh, not quite. Tell you what, I'll pop in on my way up to Pride Park on Boxing Day.
Oh, yes.
Derby West Brom is my commentary, but we've got a whole feast of football in this, with 50 football commentaries, and so many on Boxing Day from the Premier League and the Championship.
Yeah, fortunately the darts doesn't come back until the 27th.
It's very true. But I'll need that extra day just watching football, just to work off the turkey and the mince pies. Into leg 3 of this third set. 100 from Chris Landman from the Netherlands, who has seen his average drop to 76 in this third set. He was averaging 89 in the first, 80 in the second. Now he's dipped to just under 77.
Well, there's a pattern where if you look at Lee's 84 set 1, 93.94 set 2, 98.2 at the moment, and he's got 6 darts at 161 to go 2-1 up in sets, because Landman's back on 187. Single 5, makes the adjustment, can stay there. That'll do. 76 left when he goes, and he will go.
Well, Landman, this throwing action with lots of moving parts is not helping him right now get that consistency into his game. Lee wants 76 to go ahead, 2-1 in sets. 16 hits, so 20 for tops, 20 hit, 1 dart at double top, just over the top, so the door is slightly ajar for Landman.
Interesting route there, Dan, because the 48 would have left 28, which is not the nicest double in the world unless you're meant to Sulovic. Ball for Landman, so Lee will be back at tops for 2 sets to 1.
What's he like at the top of the shop? Ian Lee. Oh, bends the wire just over the top, and he's underneath, so he comes down for double 10. But he gets that! And that's set 3 to Ian Lee of Hong Kong. And you can hear how much Lee is the chant from all around, from the 3,000 darts fans here, firmly behind the man from Hong Kong.
Well, Chris Landman in a world of trouble here. He's lost the last 6 legs on the spin without reply, dance. Can
we get Alex Dunn back on the line for William Hill? What it must be in running now for this one, I've no idea. But
this is a guy he was 8-1 on with William Hill.
Yeah.
And he's not won a leg in the last 6. He started set 4, leg 1 with 60 after Lee started with throw with 125, and he's been really good on throw. I mean, he could 3 holds to throw here, and he's through to face Brendan Dolan.
Again, another trebleless visit for Landman. He's had 22 trebleless visits, almost twice as many as the debutant Lee has managed. Now, he's a little bit erratic here. Only 55 scored.
Well, the adrenaline must be literally coursing.
Well, winning line-itis is the other thing that comes into view now.
That's where experience will come to the front of this match. But the fans are loving it.
Well, they got the value.
We love an underdog, don't we?
They do. Well, yes, they do. But don't we? That's the kind of the British sporting mentality, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And he's reveling in it so far. But another low score of just 30 is handing the initiative.
That was very Partridge, by the way.
Was it?
Isn't it?
Thanks very much.
Well, 177 Landman. Lee at the hockey on throw on 2-3-1. Starts on the 19. Should go ball. I'll tell you what, this fella can count. It's the ball.
Yeah, very nicely done. He's no Jose de Souza.
That's for sure.
So he's down to a finish of 142 and only 41 from Landman, so he's not that much further ahead on a finish of 136.
Landman's having a shocker here. He's averaging 82. The seasonal numbers is 8 points more than that. 40 scored for Lee. Staying on the 19s, interestingly.
From 102. Yeah.
Right. Eventually, yeah, from 102 to leave 83. 130. Landman needs something to inspire him, and it's not happening. 2 single 20s and only 60, so 83. Treble 17, double 16 for Lee to make it 7 legs on the spin. 16 ball.
Okay. He's looking at it. He's pinned it, so bullseye. He's just hit a ball in his previous visit to set up the shot. Oh, he hits the 25.
Weight of dart was perfect, wasn't it? It was
just on the
little
line
bit
to the
west.
left. Yep. So Landman 76, treble 20 for double 8 on the wire, and again on the wire. Still can't win a leg. 9 for double 8 for Lee.
Gets the 9. That's the hard bit. Yeah. Wow. What's occurring?
Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. There's your early clip of what's to come. Chris Mason playing Ruth Jones. Wow.
Wow, we just couldn't have predicted this. This is brilliant, and all credit to him. He's worth every bit of his lead. 2-1 up in sets, a leg up. Finds only 60.
So Landman, to paraphrase Chris, is in a world of trouble. Averaging 80 for this set. Mind you, Lee's only averaging 60 odd for this set, but he's trying to do something about that. Comes downstairs to the 19s.
It was a 23 dart hold in the end in leg 1, so that's why the numbers are there. 59 for Landman, down to 207. He trails 2-1 in sets and a leg in set 4. He's down to 207. Lee at the hockey, 388. Single 20. And he does have he's a bit of Shaky Stevens about him.
Yeah.
Not visually, in the hand I'm talking about.
Yeah, and slight quiver in the action.
And it seems to be
intensifying.
Yeah. As he approaches winning his debut World Championship match, and this is a huge thing for darts in that part of the world. Treble 19's found, and another.
I tell you what, it's prime time over in Hong Kong right now. It's 177, 174 hit. It's not down to a finish though. Landman 152. It's a steady ton.
Well,
so
Lee would love a 132 or a 140 here, just to ask Landman the question, whose head must be all over the shop right now. A ton's enough.
20 for double 16 for Landman, as he's gone 12 tops. Over the top of tops. And underneath, another leg could be passing him by.
He's had 20 darts at a double, only at 3. Single 16 leaves 56. That leaves tops for 2-0.
Well over the top in the end, a good inch over the top into the
Ali G's in the house.
Yeah, Ali G's here. Chris Landman's here, looking for double 10, inside up for double 5, and he's inside double 5. It's getting worse and worse for the Dutchman. Double trouble.
What is going on? Tops for Lee. Tops he finds plumb in the middle. That is now 8 consecutive legs.
You could not have walked up to the board and placed that double top dart any better to make it look picture perfect.
Plumb in the middle, laterally, plumb in the middle vertically.
Well,
he's on the verge. One more leg needed.
Yep. We could have a great story to start our day. We thought we had a great story with Rashad Sweeting at the start of yesterday.
Oh, I loved watching that game. Just when you see someone just enjoy their moment in the sun as much as him. There was no nerves. He just soaked every second of it up. And I'm pretty sure we'll see him back. Ton from Landman, down to 3-4-2. Trails 2 sets to 1. Lee 2-0 up. Wants 4-4-1.
Fighting for his life right now. We've been playing just less than half an hour. And we could be coming to critical mass here.
Yeah. Point of no return. I mean, it's a great 140. Lee at 2-0 up in the set. Listen, he's had the throw here that looks like this is going the way of Landman, but he will have the darts again, of course. If he doesn't get it done in this leg or the next leg, he'll have the throw in leg 5. 99 takes him down to 260. Landman 58 in front. 202 minus these, single 20, gets a treble. Starting to get a bit more success around the lipstick. Leaves 97.
So Lock-in Lee from 260 will try and get down to a finish. Lovely first dart, right in the left-hand bed of the treble 20, but can't follow it up. Steady ton will have to do. So Landman for his first leg in about a month. Treble 19 hit for tops. He's on the wire on twice. It still won't go. He bent that wire downwards.
He's now had 25 darts at a double. 2 more than Lee, who's not going to take the 160. He's going to leave it low. That's 80 scored with 2. Ton leaves him the combination of 20 and tops. Will he get a go? Wow, this is it, Dance.
Landman has missed 3 darts inside tops and 2 at double 10. So this is for the match for Lock-in Lee of Hong Kong. 20 for double top. The 20 is hit. Just adjusts his glasses, settles again on the hockey. Double top. Is hit! Lock-in Lee creates the shock of the first round. Knocks out Chris Landman of the Netherlands by 3 sets to 1. And after a first set where he went behind, he became unstoppable.
Yeah, he won 9 consecutive legs on the spin. The last leg he lost was the last leg of set 1, and that was a 21 darter from Landman. From there, it was all about Lock-in Lee. 9 consecutive legs on the spin to roll out a very worthy 3 sets to 1 winner. What a story here at Ali Pali in the opening match of the afternoon session.
Chris Landman muttering darkly to himself as he stomps off the stage. Meanwhile, Lock-in Lee's chucking out not just his flights, but his stems from his darts. I hope he's got spares. He's got more darts to play. He's got Brendan Dolan to meet next.
Yeah, and listen, Brendan will have to be on his game, because every opportunity Lee was given, he stepped in and said thank you very much. His finishing stats are outstanding, Dance. 11 from 24, 46%. I can assure you, any player in this World Championship will be happy with 46%. I tell you who won't be happy, Chris Landman. 4 more darts at a double, only 3 hit, just an 11% strike rate on the outer ring, and that is why he has got BFH.
So I'll have a chat with Lock-in Lee in a few short minutes. You'll see that on our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel as we go through the day with all the content that we're adding day by day here at Ali Pali. But next up on talkSPORT 2, Callan Ridge from the northeast takes on the Croatian player Romeo Grbovac, and Mark Wilson and Paul Nicholson will guide you through that first round encounter next here on talkSPORT 2, where Lock-in Lee is the toast of Ali Pali, winning his round 1 encounter by 3 sets to 1.